today we finally organize our storage and we get infinite power, perchance? That's right, my friends. It is finally time that we organize our storage system. And if you're wondering what storage system needs to be organized, well, that's probably a good question because there is no storage system. I literally just have backpacks of things on the ground. I have a couple double chests of just junk. And then, of course, I have my gigantic backpack with multiple stack upgrades, just holding on to a bunch of stuff. I probably don't have enough things in my inventory or in any of my storages behind me to actually justify how big of a storage system I'm about to make today, but we're future-proofing. Of course, we're totally going to get super duper rich, and we're totally going to have so many things that we need to deal with that it'll make sense to have all the chests that we will be working on today. So to be a little bit more specific, this is the area that I am going to be doing my storage system at because I feel like it's the perfect little nook. And in fact, I built this nook into this warehouse for the purpose of it being my storage system. The important part, however, is that we point out the sophisticated storage mod that was added because we already had sophisticated backpacks. Now we have sophisticated storage mods, or I guess just one mod. The reason this mod is particularly important to take a look at is because of this storage controller block that is included in this mod. And as you can read the little description right there, it says it allows to deposit and pipe items to and from a connected multi-block of storages. So basically, I can have a wall of chests, and as long as I double click on that specific block, it will deposit anything I have in my inventory into the proper chests where those items will go. Of course, if I don't have a chest that has lime stained glass panes, then obviously that's not going to go into the storage system, and we would have to figure out where in the storage we would have to place it. But I've been wanting to mess around a little bit more with that mod, and I think there might be a way that we have it deposit all sorts of items into a particular chest, whether there's anything inside of it or not. I'm gonna be honest, I did a little bit of a sketch in a single player world, and I think the diamond chest of this, just like white block variety was my favorite looking chest. Of course, this is gonna be a bit of an expensive storage system because we're probably gonna have like maybe 20 or so of these chests, which means we need 8 diamonds surrounding a gold chest, which requires 8 gold, which requires 8 iron, which just requires a chest with white dye. So it seems like we're gonna need quite a bit of diamonds, and if we check in here, I think we have a few. We also have quite a few gold and just a little bit of iron. I think we're ready. I actually think we're ready to make the storage system. No need to grind. I've already been doing all the grinding off camera. Luckily, I still have a lot of wood saved up from when I did my wood farm, which we do technically still need to rebuild, but that will be a problem for a future time. Heck, maybe we'll build it today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm just gonna make a few chests here. I actually have no idea how many I need, but I'm gonna assume we're gonna need a few. This is definitely more than we need, but that's okay. I actually literally just referenced the image of the storage system I made. I literally need 15. I need 15 chests. I made 23 extra chests. Oh gosh. I am so silly. And this is me realizing that all the chests I made, were made incorrectly. They need to have a freaking redstone torch inside of them. What? I just made 38 chests for nothing. I barely have enough redstone for this as well. Oh my goodness. I goofed up a lot. Well, we finally got the right thing going, so that's good. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this all the way. I hope I'm doing the right thing because I'm not really paying attention. I'm just kind of clicking things. And if it's not the right thing, then, whatever. We made a mistake and we wasted 1,000,000 diamonds. That's okay. Moment of truth to make sure that this is the right thing I was looking for. And yeah, yeah, that's a pretty big freaking chest, I'm gonna be honest. So that's beautiful. All right, now I believe I've crafted everything. I literally just scavenged all the things from all the millions of chests that I have just to prove a point to you guys real quick. Okay, now I got the actual final thing because I wasn't paying attention. But basically, for example, we're just going to have a line of chests like this. This block can actually be disconnected from all of this if we use these storage links. But, for example, if we had this all connected like so, if I placed one lime stained glass pane in here, and then I just double clicked here, you can see it's gone from my inventory. If we check it, all 13 went in there. So that's pretty cool. But now, let's do it an even cooler way, which is through wireless networks. So basically, I'm going to place down this storage link so that it's touching an inventory. So I'm just placing it literally right behind. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this guy, and then I'm going to click on this friend, and you can see there's a laser going through. That's basically saying those two are connected now. Every time I hover over it, you will see that it looks like that. And now the same thing can be done. If I place one glass pane in here, double click that, look in there, now there's 13. And then just to prove a point, because I guess I kind of forgot to do that, is if I do it without linking it, you can see I put one lime stained glass in there, double click, and there's still just one because it's just not connected. So obviously this is going to be very, very useful. The thing is though, is that sophisticated storage also has all these upgrades that you can actually add to each chest. So for example, if I wanted everything to be in here to get compressed, there is a compressing upgrade, and I don't know what it's called, so I'm just going to search it up. Compressed. Here it is. Compacts items in their compressed variants, only 2x2 recipes, and then this one's both 2x2 and 3x3s. So if I wanted one specific chest to do all the compressing, then I could add that upgrade into this chest. There's actually some really cool upgrades in here, like even the hopper upgrade, so it makes it so that it kind of just instantly spits things out or brings things in, depending if there's a storage above. I don't really think it's going to be too helpful for what I'm trying to accomplish. What is this rock? Has that always been there? I never noticed that. That is weird. But in any case, now we actually have to do the thing that most people kind of, care about, which is actually making it look pretty. And my inventory is a mess, and I don't have any of the items in order to make it pretty. So this is where I go grab all the materials, make it look pretty, and then I just put like a little bit of a background, sort of replay mod thing. All right, enjoy that. Finally, look at this. We have our beautiful, beautiful setup right behind us here. I actually really like how this came out. I matched sort of the color and the vibes to that sort of build, except I actually added more copper to it because I feel like it gives a little bit more of that rustic, steampunk vibes. But of course, we still have a little bit more to do with this because I haven't done any of the hardwiring that we were talking about earlier, basically with all this storage stuff. I left a little bit of space back here to add some storage links, but basically I'm going to place down this storage controller right here. I'm going to add these storage links to the back of these chests, as you can see, and we are going to have to wear our jetpack so we can get up easily, just like this. And boom. So now with all of that, it's a little bit hidden, so it looks good. With all of that being done, now we actually have to link it. So actually, I guess I made a mistake in closing these. But there we go. Let's just go ahead and select you. Let's go ahead and select you. And of course, you. So all of these inventories are now connected, as you can see, which means if this chest wants to be a cut deep slate brick chest, we can just put one in there. We double click here, and now all of the cut deep slate bricks have gone in here. So that's pretty cool. Now, I actually want to test something just for science. Let's see if the memory stuff actually works. If we add the cut deep slate bricks that we were just looking at into the memory here, you can see now it's there. I'm clicking on this, there's nothing, but if I shift click, it'll go into there. I mean, to be fair, that is the first spot in the chest, so obviously it's gonna go there. But the real question is if I double click this, does it go in? And yes, it does. You can see, even though we didn't have one of those items in there, it's still automatically linked to it, because that is how the memory stuff works on this. So I can actually remove it now, and we can work on that a little bit later. But that's actually really cool with how that's going to work, because we have a lot of junk, and I'm not even kidding, guys. While I was building this, I was struggling. My inventory is so full. You can see I have so much random stuff in this backpack. This backpack is also full. I am a mess. But I'm really happy that we have all of these chests down, which means I can finally start clearing out some of my storage. But of course, I'm not going to be doing that on video, because I feel like that is going to be extremely, extremely boring. And I know a lot of people say that my voice is soothing, but I'm not trying to put you guys to sleep. I want you guys to enjoy and have a good time. So in any case, I will be moving all of that storage later on. But I have some tragic news for everyone, and that is that I'm pretty sure either someone killed all my chickens or they bugged out. I don't know. There's one stuck in there, and then there's like 2 in there, but all of my chickens are gone. There were loads of chickens just inside of this cauldron, and now they're gone, and I don't know what's been going on. My bees are still here. I don't know if someone wanted to kill my chickens, but I have been collecting the eggs and storing them in my backpack, because eventually we're going to have to fix this, because, I mean, this is just a major problem. We need our chickens. We are trying to, at some point, eventually automate our sandwich making. And that actually perfectly segues on to the next thing that I want to do for today's video, and probably the main reason that some of you may be excited to watch today's video, which is we are going to start dipping into doing some infinite power. I don't know if it's actually going to be like that, but I'm very much going to try. So Create has something called a steam engine, and it's this one, and not the one that we used for the jetpack. It's this thing over here, the steam engine. And you basically have to build like this giant sort of structure that actually, you know, kind of looks like this. Actually, let me kind of skip through these. Kind of looks like this, and it generates a bunch of power. And honestly, it's kind of free. I mean, we're gonna need lava and lots of it, but nowadays lava is pretty easily made. All you need is some dripstone, a cauldron, and you get infinite lava. So I think that's something I want to work on next, because if we do that and we have this infinite power, it is going to help us out with hopefully powering all of the machinery that we're going to need in order to automatically make bread into these sandwiches that will be getting made from the chickens once we hopefully bring them back. So that should be really, really cool. Also, I do read all of the comments that everyone comments in these videos, and I was told that actually making the bread is actually not the best way that I was doing it with the auto crafters. There are better ways to do it. I think the main way is through this dough that people were talking about. Obviously, it adds a couple more steps to the process, but if we crush our wheat, we get wheat flour and then maybe an additional wheat flour. And then with that wheat flour, we can wash it into a dough, and then the dough can be smelted or smoked into a bread, which basically means we can get extra bread from our one wheat. So that's one of the things we're going to have to do. But of course, that's going to require a lot more power, which brings us all back to the main topic of we need to finally get some better power. And we're definitely going to be doing it with the boiler. And I don't know exactly what all of this stuff is called. It's just a steam engine. But we do need more of these blaze burners. We need an infinite water source, and we need to be generating lava. So that means we have a couple of steps to do. And of course, I keep pointing in this direction because I don't know if you can see, there are 3 blocks right here. To be fair, those are there because just for the decorations of the freaking factory. But this also marks the center of this build, which means if we make a steam engine that is a 3x3 steam engine, then that's actually going to be really helpful because it lines up perfectly with this. So it's time that I grind for all those materials. And once I finish grinding for all those materials, we should be able to build this and have a lot of power. And once again, I know I mentioned I read all the comments, but if I'm ever doing something really, really dumb, feel free to tell me in the comments. I am happy to learn and, you know, automate things in a lot more efficient way. Of course, I would not have known about the wheat turning it into the flour dough if it wasn't for those comments. So yeah, make sure you comment down below anything that you think might be helpful to me. Also, if you know what happened to my chickens, please let me know because I have no idea. I thought it was maybe a cramming issue, but they would have died a lot longer ago if that was the case. All right, well, time to grind all the materials. It's time. I have gathered it all. Well, at least I think I've gathered all the stuff. I mean, I'm just gonna hope that I did. I feel like I have everything though. Also, I was very easily able to get these blaze burners because one of the SMP members, Bars, actually just has 2 blaze spawners under his base. It's a very random thing, but regardless, I was able to nab a couple blazes there. But anyway, it is time that we build ourselves a freaking power generator, a steam engine of sorts. So I think I'm just gonna set it up a couple of blocks off this wall. I think here is where I want to officially set it. So this is what's going to be heating, aka boiling, our water. So right now we need to actually combine all of these fluid tanks, and you can see it's kind of stacked up now. And then if I just place 1, it's just going to keep on stacking up. Of course, it is actually placing 9. The game wouldn't be that lenient and only having to place 1 and then it's fine. But there you go. We're going to make this quite a few blocks tall. I actually don't know what the requirements are for this, but I'm just going to keep on, you know, building it up. I'm going to say like right there. I'm going to say like at here is probably fine. I mean, I'm out of fluid tanks at this point, so it better be. And we do actually have to build ourselves a infinite water source, which I am going to be placing right here. And I don't have any buckets because I made all of my buckets into buckets of lava. That's silly of me. So I'm just going to place 2 lava buckets here just for fun. And let's go ahead and grab some infinite water sources here. Okie dokie, water here and water there. We have an infinite water source. Then we're just going to place this mechanical pump. And then we just combine it like this. Of course, we need to give this a little bit of power so that it actually sucks up the water and puts it in here. But then allegedly, once that's all working, this should turn into a steam engine. Of course, we do need to place steam engines on the side of this. I think I'm just going to place it like here. You can see it actually transformed these fluid tanks into like a boiler. I don't really know where I want these to be placed, but I made a 6, so I think this is the most even way that we could do it. Now, the annoying part is actually powering this because, of course, we need to have our own form of power just to be able to power our steam engine. It's very backwards thinking, but that's just the way that it is. And actually, this has made me realize that there is one thing that I forgot. And the one thing that I forgot is making a rotation speed controller. And that's freaking annoying to make. All right. Well, I'll make that in a little bit. But the first thing that I actually do need to work on, I mean, I guess it's not the first thing, but one of the many things that we need to work on is actually providing lava to these blaze burners. So we actually need to clear out this bottom bit just a little bit. Basically, I am going to try my very best to have the infinite lava sources sort of being made here. In order to build ourselves some renewable lava, we need to do a little bit of underground work here. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deep here just because I'm actually not sure how deep I need to go. I'm just going to go a couple blocks just to be safe. But we are basically going to have all of these pipes here, and I think if we place a cauldron, you can see it actually starts aiming upwards towards it. So we are just going to have a huge amount of cauldrons here, just continuously, hopefully, generating some lava. I think I made this low enough, because if we put the dripstone here, hold on, I gotta think. Then, okay, here, hold on. I'm gonna make this a different block just so I can think while we are building this. Of course, let's make it some deep slate for the sake of contrast. But I think we're just gonna place glass right here. Now, this is dangerous to work with because I still don't have silk touch. But if we do this, we should be able to place dripstone on the underside of this, right? Yes, okay, perfect. Now, we also need to place this pipe here because we do need to pipe it up. But if we just go ahead and place all of these down, I think I brought the right amount. Hopefully, because I don't really have too many to spare. Why is that dripping water? Wait, am I doing something wrong? Is it because it's raining? Wait, that makes no sense. Well, hopefully it's just a visual issue. Let's go ahead and put this down, and I guess let's start placing some lava and see if it starts working. And they all do need to be solid source blocks. So, okay, well, the first mistake I made is now I can't see if it's dripping lava. I am really hoping I'm doing this right. Here we go. These should be the final ones. Don't mess this up. And that should be it. It does seem to be perfectly lined up. And now here's the tricky part, because of course I forgot to do this beforehand, but we do have the Create and Crafts Editions add-on, which basically makes it so we can turn these blaze burners into consumable blaze burners. So as you can see, if we just right-click these guys, they can actually be fed the lava directly to them. For those of you who are Create nerds, you would know that this is not typically possible with the vanilla Create mod. So there we go. I think I set that middle one. Yep, they're all good to go. So now the final piece of the puzzle is to bring this pipe up and have it all connect to these guys just like this. This is really freaking hard to do, because I already placed the lava, but I think we've sorted it out. And now we can just cover all of these up with some andesite. Awesome. I guess it's time we figure out this little fun part. Now, I'm not going to show you guys this process because you guys have kind of seen me do it already, but I'm just going to very, very quickly make one of these precision mechanisms, which requires just many steps of this. Yes. Okay, fantastic. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but this one had an 80% chance of working, which, you know, to be fair, is still a pretty high chance. But, I mean, I don't know. You never want to test my luck with these sorts of things. Perfect. Now that we have a rotation speed controller, we can move on with our project. So I'm making a little bit of a hole down here, and I'm trying to make sure I don't reach into that lava that we were just working on, literally just on the other side of this wall. But I am going to make a bit of a water wheel down here that's going to do some hard work for us. Perfect. Here we go, and that should do the job. Now we got a little bit of power going on here. So the thing about these rotation speed controllers, as you can see, you need to actually feed it a cog just like that. So it can be a little bit difficult kind of getting these things sorted, but I think we could fix this pretty easily if we just get a vertical gearbox and connect it like that. And now in here, even though I just kind of blocked my exit, we can adjust this to be crazy numbers. Like this is now spinning crazy amounts. Obviously, you can't really see it just yet. And actually, I'm a bit of a silly goose because I'm just now realizing that this is actually the output, so we need to figure out how to get the output there. But yeah, you can see how fast that's rotating. Yeah, that's pretty freaking fast. That's going to be pumping a lot of water. For now, I'm just going to change it to something lower just for the sake of not freaking out about it. But here we go. Let's go ahead and, you know, change the rotation of all of these things. We're actually just going to have to go around this gearbox. We definitely could have done this a smarter way, but you know what? I'm already so committed to this. We are staying on this. Now, if we do that, okay, I think we've got water going. Now, where are my goggles? If I was wearing the engineer goggles, we can actually see more information. So let's do that. And there we go. Yeah, we got a boiler status, and you can see we have like 0 water in there actually. actually. We also have 0 heat because we haven't actually generated any lava yet. But let's go ahead and fix this water issue. Oh, well, also, not to mention that I blocked this off. And there we go. Now we're actually, you know, inputting some water. Definitely a little bit slow, but at least there's something there. There we go. I'm down here now. Let's turn this all the way up, and it's overstressed. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Let's find a happy speed that it doesn't get upset with. Maybe like a 180. 180 is still, it's still upset about it, isn't it? All right, fine. 128. Okay, 128 seems to be working. You can see it's going very, very fast. And our water is up to the 6th level, I think. Of course, we can still grow it. And the best and also easiest way to do that is if we just add another water wheel. There we go. Okay, there we go. I got it working. We're all good. So now I should be able to turn this up to 256. There we go. We are going at 256. You can see, oh my God, that is crazy fast. And of course, if we look at this, you can see the water is basically at its maximum level, which is, to say the least, a ridiculous amount. But now the problem is that we don't have any heat, and that's why we're only generating 2,048 stress units. But you can see that the cauldron is actually, is that actually full? Did I mess something up? I mean, of course I probably messed something up, but what? All right. I'm just going to be honest. I made a pump, and I think this is what's going to fix it. But I'm just a little bit worried about the lava spreading, but it should be fine. Actually, it should be fine if we just replace out here. Let's do this a little bit of a safer way. I don't want my things burning. Go ahead and remove this, and then that is pointing upwards, so that should be good. And now we need to provide some power for that. Of course, why would I forget that we need power for this as well? This is so freaking silly. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how much power we're going to need to provide this. So I'm going to aim to start with something a little basic, which is just 1 water wheel. Let's actually see if this is like too slow. I don't know if it will be too slow, but it probably is too slow because it's not providing any lava to this. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. It started providing it to this one very, very slowly, but you can see it's happening. This is actually probably fine. I mean, I think as soon as this one fills up, it'll fill up another one. I'm actually going to stare at this and see what happens because we're almost at the maximum here. Oh, yep. It went on to the next one. Which one's the next one? Is it the middle one? Oh, of course it's the middle one, the one I can't see. Yeah, honestly, I don't think we need to bring this up to that much speed, so we can just continue hiding that down there. Although I do want to add a couple more blocks here so that we can't immediately see it. But now, as you can see, our boiler status is at a level 2, and that's going to continue going up once all of these kind of turn into these you know, blaze burners that are lit up like this. Although, to be fair, we probably just don't have enough lava down there. So maybe I'll give it some help. Maybe I'll actually just provide some lava to some of these friends. We are now at a level 5. And you can see at the bottom there, it says 81,920 stress units. Just as a little bit of reference, here is the difference. If this is 81,000 stress units, this 1 water wheel is 512. This one's 512. This one's 512. Now, I just whipped out a calculator to get this math correctly for you, but that would be approximately 158 water wheels. All because we're cooking up some water and the boiling stuff is making it boil or something. I don't know how steam engines work. But this is where it starts getting fun, because you may be wondering, Jojo, how the frick do you actually use this though? Like right now, it's literally just a big pillar in the middle of your base. Well, if we come up here and we add something like this, you can see it's starting to rotate and it's starting to actually use stress units. I'm going to be honest, I would rather it be sideways like this, so I'm just going to go ahead and change this one up. But each one of these has 13,653 stress units. And then, of course, on this side, we're going to have the same thing. Here we go. And all of these in total makes the 81,000 stress units. Of course, that's going to go up once we actually have more lava, you know, sort of rotating through all of this. So maybe the right thing to do is to actually add more cauldrons down there. But actually, you could see it already went up to 98,000. That means a different one of our blaze burners actually got some lava in there. Now, for those of you who are big create nerds, you're probably saying, but Jojo, you can even overclock your freaking boilers with the overblazing, whatever the word is. You're right. Blaze burners can actually be superheated with different things. In fact, if you give it biofuel, it's going to be superheated for 20 minutes, which basically that's the way to upgrade our steam engine to the levels that are way beyond that I care for. It's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I feel like we don't really need that much power right now. But we might need it in the future. So when that time comes, that's when I'll care about it. But for now, it feels a little unnecessary aiming for something when it's just not really going to benefit us much. We have learned something important here, though. These statistics are very, very important, which is why I actually wanted to make a display board that actually shows the statistics of our boiler status at all times. I don't know exactly what the distance is I want from here, but allegedly it would be something like this. I think like that. I think that's as big as I wanted it to be. Maybe I should make it be attached to the thing. Hold on. Revising all of this. Might have to make a couple more of these. But if we were to, for example, disconnect this steam engine, and I think, can we place it up here? I think we can. Place it like this. I mean, it kind of doesn't really line up with what we're going for here. But whatever, for the sake of just showing this off, we're going to go ahead and connect this just like so. And obviously, we are not showcasing anything just yet because there is one missing component to all of this. And that is a display link, which I just crafted because I completely forgot to do it earlier. But if we just go ahead and place a... Oops, I did this incorrectly. Let's go ahead and shift click that. If we just go ahead and select this and then place it on top of our boiler, all we have to do is select boiler status, set it to line 1, select, and now we come over here. And of course, there's not enough space for the boiler status. Awesome. All right. That's my fault. That's on me. What do I need? Do I need more vertical or more horizontal? Let's try adding more vertical. And still not enough space. Okay. All right. Whatever. It's really cool how it comes out though. All right. Let's see if we add more here and more here. Is that better? There we go. Now we're cooking. That's a little frustrating that it needs to be an even numbered thing because now it just looks a little awkward being so far out over here. But, you know, there's nothing we can do about it. I guess the one thing we could do about it is at least make it look pretty. I'm going to be honest, though. I don't really know how pretty we can make this look. I know we can hide this a little bit. So maybe we give it like a bit of a frame. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe some deep slate blocks as well, just to match the vibes around these parts. Maybe some slabs. And there. All right, let's see how it looks. Moment of truth. Okay. I actually don't hate it. I actually don't think that looks too bad. And now we don't need to keep walking up to this to see what the boiler status is at. We can just simply look at it. And of course, if we're ever out of the lava, this is probably going to stop working. We definitely have enough stress units for it, but I'm not giving it enough speed because if this slows down to, what was it, like 2,048 stress units, it's going to be going very slow and it's probably going to break the display. So let's just hope that that never happens. I also just generally think it looks really cool seeing all of the spinning arms there as well. Maybe we could also add like some pillars here with these shafts. Let's make a couple more of these and let's try this out. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Hold on, I have another idea. What if we use a cut wall just like this to give it a little bit of support? Yeah, I like that. I like how that's looking. Oh, and shoot, look at that. We're at a level 8 now. I didn't even realize that. You can see the heat is actually finally starting to transfer to all of the different blaze burners that we have here. In fact, the only one we're missing is this one. And once the lava reaches this blaze burner, we are going to officially be at a level 9, which I think is our cap. But I am really happy with how this came out. Of course, our mode of actually moving all of the stress units around the warehouse it's going to be a little ugly. We're definitely going to have a lot of these shafts just kind of going around, and that's just how it is. But that's what a factory is for. It's not meant to look beautiful. It's just supposed to be really efficient. Now, as for what I plan on doing in the future with all of this power, it's a little bit up in the air, but we were already talking about making the bread automation a little bit better. I've currently been having it spit out into a chute because this way we're actually going to be able to make a lot more bread out of that wheat. But that's part of it. I think the other part of it is another thing I've mentioned, which is maybe having some sort of train system that is going to be purely for our storage. I would love to have a train system on the server as well. But that's, I think, a little bit of a more future project. But I do want to be able to move over some of our chicken stuff going on over here into our actual factory. And honestly, now that all my chickens are dead, maybe it's time we consider just actually building the chicken farm in the factory. Maybe that would be a little bit smarter. But those are all of my ideas. If you guys actually have some more ideas, please let me know in the comment section down below. But before I let you guys go for today's video, I mentioned that I wanted to check out Spawn last episode, and I kind of forgot to do it. So let's go ahead and do that now. And Spawn has moved up to this fountain, and oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Seems like we are adding a little bit of a farmer's market type of vibe here. And then once we go out into the road, we can actually see, of course, the subway. We still have an unbuilt shop here. And then we have a shop here from Johnny. Do you have a job you don't want to do or simply want help completing a job? Then you've come to the right place. That's actually a pretty cool place. I feel like it'd be fun to maybe troll a little bit and tell Johnny to gather me like 1,000 blaze burners. I don't know, just as a little joke. There do also seem to be these plots here for potentially future builds, and I really like that. I have to think up of what I want to do. Honestly, I was considering doing some sort of iron farm, especially now that we have so much power being generated here. The only problem I have with that is that in this mod pack, it's actually a lot harder to get iron, and this actually went down a level. Yeah, see, that friend ran out. Oh, this friend ran out too. Oh, a lot of them ran out. We're down to a level 5. Well, it should be fine. Once the lava starts filling up, it should be able to keep up. But anyway, making iron in this mod pack, it's a little bit more annoying purely because we have to work off of iron nuggets. You actually get raw iron nuggets when you're washing gravel, which is annoying because usually it just goes straight into the smelted iron nugget. But because of this mod pack, it actually goes into a raw iron nugget first, which is just a little frustrating. So it makes the process of automating iron a lot more difficult. Not to mention, I don't know if you guys saw that, but it only has a 12% chance of dropping an iron nugget whenever you wash gravel. So I don't know, it can become a little frustrating. Regardless, once again, now you guys know all of my ideas, everything that's on my mind. So again, let me know what you thought. Let me know any ideas that you have. And of course, comment down below if you enjoyed today's episode. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and goodbye.